Chapter 192. Lady Richard was furious when she saw that Alex had broken her grandson's wrist right before her very eyes. She was so angry that she rushed over to him immediately because she wanted to give him a tight slap across his face. As soon as she raised her hand in the air, Alex suddenly turned around and said coldly, "Old woman, you are asking to die." Upon saying that, Alex slapped Lady Richard across her face with no hesitation. The old lady was so shocked that she took a few steps back immediately. Alex's eyes were icy, and he exuded a murderous aura from his body. Even though Lady Richard was extremely furious, she shuddered involuntarily because she felt so much pain from the slap that had been delivered across her face. She covered her face with her hand before she backed away in fright. The old lady retreated, but she did not dare to raise her head to look at Alex at all. This was the first time she had ever seen him with such a scary expression on his face. Everyone in the Richard family was shell-shocked. What the hell was happening? This piece of trash actually dared to hit Lady Richard? But who would dare to take revenge for the old lady at this time? Currently, the injured bodyguards were all lying on the ground, and the remaining few bodyguards who were still standing were all filled with fear, not daring to step forward at all. Even though the old lady really wanted to take Alex's life, she knew better than to provoke him right now. She did not know where he gained his fighting skills, and she knew that she would never be able to overtake his strength. Emma's heart was also beating profusely, and she kept her gaze on Alex the entire time. She was in a very complicated mood and could feel her cheeks burning up. This was the first time that she had ever found Alex to be so reliable and dependable. In fact, before this, Emma had always thought that Alex did not know much and only knew how to buy vegetables and cook for the family. When Alex realized that no one dared to step forward to challenge him anymore, he raised his head and glanced at the crowd of people with a deadly expression in his eyes. Then, he shouted at the 3 bodyguards who were trying to hide from him. "If you refuse to open the door, I will not hesitate to break your necks." The bodyguards were so frightened that they hurried forward to open the door immediately. Harold's father growled, "Mom, we can't let them go just like that." The old lady grit her teeth bitterly as she stared at Alex and said, "Let them go." "Grandma, how could you let them leave now?" Harold yelled, hatred filling his eyes. "He broke my wrist. I'm going to kill him." Lady Richard suppressed the anger she felt as she shouted, "I want all of you to shut up." Harold's father stepped forward as he said viciously, "Alex, you hurt my son and broke the rules of the Richard family today. I will definitely make sure that you regret your actions." Just then, Lady Richard suddenly spoke up and said, "From now on, Trump and his family are no longer part of the Richard family. I will no longer regard them as my descendants." Trump raised his head as he stared at his mother with bloodstains splattered all over his face. He replied indifferently, "I don't even want to be a part of the Richard family anymore." Emma also nodded before saying, "Yes. I do not care for it at all." The old lady grit her teeth before she continued speaking, "Emma, you really are a disgrace to the Richard family. From now on, you are also officially removed from the Richard Group. Since the Richard Group is in collaboration with the Diamond Group, they will definitely obey my instructions. As you are such an unfilial granddaughter, you will have nothing to do with the Richard Group in the future. I want you to stay as far away from me as possible." Emma replied firmly, "I do not care to be in the Richard Group anyway. Dad, let's go." After that, Emma and Alex supported Trump as they walked out of the Richard family villa together without any backward glances. Emma did not have a single bit of regret after walking out of the door. This was because she had finally seen the true colors of all her relatives today. Their so-called relatives could not even be compared to an outsider. If it weren't for her parents, Emma would have drawn a clear line from the Richard family a long time ago. Alex was also extremely annoyed. Lady Richard, Harold's father, and Harold were 3 generations of idiots. Did they really think that they would still be able to collaborate with Diamond Group after what had happened here today?